Welcome back to Blast Guys Reviews. In this review, we take a look at the Joytoy Warhammer Adeptus Custodes, Allarus Custodian, Osyr Archimaxes. And that's a mouthful. That's what we're going to go with. Here's the packaging for all you package collectors. Pretty good. It's a bigger box than you're used to seeing. These are 1/18 scale and recommended for dog collectors at least 15 years and older. And here we have the back of the box. We have some product images. Some small ones here, the front, the back, a close-up, and the larger one has all the accessories laid out in front of him, along just above him with the product statement. Pretty cool. Here's the top of the box, bottom of the box, side of the box, other side of the box. And here he is inside the clamshell. And here he is outside the packaging. And this is a walking tank. Super armor. This is heavy, solid plastic. Pretty nice looking. A lot of detail. Looks cool. We basically have a gold aesthetic with a very good amount of sculpting. Nothing's like stickers or decals. It's all sculpting. We have multiple layers of sculpting detailing. Let's take a look at the figure up close. Here he sits into this like cavity, peeping his whole head out the hole there. Pretty nice. Its head is on a ball joint. It would rotate 360 if you could get it all the way around when it's inside this huge armor. The helmet is very detailed. We have some nice looking pieces there on his ear, with a hose, some sculpting there on the forehead. Side of his head there and on the forehead. He has red eyes. He has a gem in his center. That's about all I can really get my fingers into that little hole to see. Good thing we don't have to swap out a head sculpt for that. That'd be very, very challenging. The head moves forward and back, side to side. Maybe if you pull it forward and it was able to grab, so get some strong fingers and pop that head off if you need to. I wouldn't recommend too many tools because you're going to leave some stress or damage your head sculpt. The hole around the head there has pretty detailed. It's kind of waved sharp points there. On the top we do have this very cool eagle or bird falcon sculpt that goes on top because his tail feathers, and there's his head right there. The overall gold has like a silver wash over it, so it's pretty cool. Nice sculpting in the chest, silver tubes. Pauldrons are huge. They have these little straps on the front and on the back. They're pretty stiff with a little silver buckle. Here's the pauldron, nicely sculpted, blue gem, pretty cool. The back of him, a lot of detail there. Vents, I'm not sure what these cylinders are for. Pauldrons are pretty much the same, and these pauldrons do move. We have, you can see how big they are, surface area underneath there, white bits. All those attached. I think they're on some kind of hinge. Can't see inside there. And they might be pegged. Yeah. I think they're pegged into this chest. And they swivel up and down. Pretty cool side to side. The arms are on a ball joint. They can raise up about that much. At least on this figure, huh? They will rotate 360, but mine's kind of stuck. And I'll have to get some heat. Oh, this one moves back and forth, but it's only going to limit you to get to hit the pauldron. There's a bicep cut right there. It's stuck on that arm. That arm's stuck. You can see it right there. That's a 360 rotation. They're double jointed elbows. The hands are on a ball peg to go up and down a little bit, in and out, and all the way around. Pretty cool. Do like these blades here. Okay, elbow strikes would be pretty devastating. He has a blade on this arm along with a arm cannon. I mean, there's the drilled barrel, very small. You can see these are like grenades. They're not even shells. These are huge. I mean, at least in person, you can really appreciate how big those things are. That's pretty cool. Moving down to the lower level here, you can move back and forth, side to side, and there's a rotation, 360 all the way around. He has some PVC skirting. The front here is very stiff, very hard. You're not going to bend any of this. A lot of sculpting there. The cross, gem, the symbol there, these tassels, pretty nicely sculpted. All the gems throughout, the studs. It does come off if you want to take it off. Even at the backside painted, so that's pretty good. That's what it looks like underneath. Taking a look at his knee pads to slash armor down to his shins. And down here on his ankles, he has this piece that goes over his foot. So for the feet, it can kind of set up a little bit if you had a massive chariot without a back. You split them pretty good for a big guy. It's hitting the skirt. There's thigh cut there. He has double jointed knees. You can see those joints right there. Feet do pivot down side to side. And he has that toe articulation up, and that one seems to be, there we go. Yeah, this guy's definitely going to need some heating to get him in safe working articulation mode. Now, the last part of this guy we want to look at is his skirt. A lot of sculpting here. He has these side panels. That looks incredible. It kind of looks like mini shields. PVC. This is actually sculpted. You can feel the texture. That's not painted on anything. Here we have a strap with a hole in his belt. A chain, all PVC, very stiff. There's the other side piece there. I think we actually have a hole in this one, so we put that short sword in. We'll take a look at that when we get to the accessory part. But other than that, looks pretty good. He's a big beefy guy. Definitely add some strength to your overall Warhammer army. Very powerful group of characters. Now, if he wasn't tall enough for you, we can go and add this little tassel here to the top of his head. It's like a dull red. It's a heavy black wash. And that just pegs on top of his head, like so. It's very neat feeling to the plastic. It kind of like almost like it's almost like you feel like you're mashing it versus just pegging on. It feels like it's like I'm gonna smash it and break it or whatever. But there he is. Looks very cool. It goes on with the alternate hands with the blue on the tips. It matches the other hands. This is a very larger diameter opening for whatever accessory that he comes with that fits. He gets 2 of those. He gets a give me money hand or the force hand. Choke you. Kind of same way with this more. This is actually more open than the previous one. It kind of looks like it, at least. Maybe not. But you get a set of both. His accessories, he has some weapons here. He has this. And the details are insane for the accessories. These are 1/18 scale accessories. There's our pig. Black case with a lot of gold design on the sheath. Very cool. I like this. You probably can get a string through there. There's a little bit of light if you want to put a string on that for whatever reason. I love the bird heads. Looks very cool. Black handle. Blade comes out. A little bit of paint there. Blue paint on my blade. No big deal. Pretty cool. It's more of a short sword. Goes in there pretty good. The hands on these guys are pretty stiff from the previous reviews we did of them. Yeah, so I'm not going to force that in without heating him up. If anything, you would definitely find that almost opened enough to get that in, but kind of freaked me out a little bit because Warhammer figures ain't cheap. And you can put it in this hand, kind of loose in that hand. So with that would probably the trigger hand's probably the tighter one due to the larger diameter of that hand there. And the others are just opening hands we can't use for this. Those are more for like coupling, I think. That'd be for his larger weapon. With the peg here, we have a strap piece that's very stiff. Might have to lay him down. Let's see if I can peg that in, if that's going to be very easy to do, knowing that most of the time, does that come off? The one came off. These diameters are not met very well with sizing for when I engineer these things, and it's not fitting very easily, so it tells me I need to do some work on this. Maybe if I can force it, you get pretty much like size your hole. There it goes. It's in there. I don't know if it's going to stay. It is pegged on the back there, but there he is. For the most part, at least for what we need to see, looks pretty nice. I like that. Even adds to the overall all that stuff just to look at. Now, I find this piece to be more controversial than anything else for these figures. Our previous video we had this piece. Now, I've seen this piece in our very first one when it comes with that very large scepter the first guy had. I don't remember their name. These guys have some pretty long names. This is basically, according to one of our subscribers, thank you for commenting. So this is the short spear. Now, for the first one, it goes into that the banner that he came with. So, and then you could take it off and use it for a short spear. But someone mentioned that this is the half of the gun spear. So here we have this gun axe. So basically, looking at this, here's the gun. This is very cool, man. Moth, that's insane. But anyway, here's the gun. Very cool. There's a clip. Is that removable? No, it's all sculpted. That's a nice axe blade. The feathers there on the blade, pretty cool. Eagle head and tail, feather, maybe. I mean, that's kind of short on this side. That's the only difference. Hose. But anyway, you see how this back half it is the trigger for the gun here. And obviously, here's our business end. But someone said this is like another half of this. So initially thought maybe, you know, did it go in here when he's not using the gun part? That's not going to fit. That's pretty much the same diameter on this beveled part here than it is going to fit in there. Then initially thought, well, you know what? This thing looks like that. Maybe this part comes out and you stick this part in, so you would have this. But this is not coming out. So I don't know how that's supposed to function. I don't think Joytoy thought that through very well. I think that's a missed opportunity unless they glued mine in. And I'm telling you, I'm yanking on this as hard as I would be careful doing, because I want to break it. It's not coming out. If it was supposed to be swapped out, that would not be that hard to get out of there. So I initially thought, is anybody's out there able to do that or no? If you want to, I hope you do. Comment down below. Let us know what your thoughts are on this weapon. Two of these figures have this issue. One has the spear, and this one's the axe, obviously. We'll call this the gun axe. I don't know what they call this piece. And this piece is actually half the spear, but maybe it's what it's supposed to do, but it just as a toy, it's not functional. I don't know. But unfortunately, that'd be a great feature for figures, at least I thought. Because in combat, he could definitely have options. I don't know if you guys heard, but if you're still watching, little insider, if you haven't seen it, you probably have if you're watching this. They're coming out. I just got caught up with these guys. There's Joytoys dropping figures from the sun. I mean, left and right, it's impossible to keep up. I mean, unless people are getting their figures for free from Joytoy, which, you know, unfortunately I'm not. I have to work just like you guys, all my viewers. You work your tails off, get what you love, collect what you know, for your collection, take care of you and your family, and that's highly respectable. Thank you for that. But there he is for the most part, and a visual. They're coming out with 5 more of these guys, and I did look totally new sculpt. They look like, you know, they look smaller, but that's because I'm looking at pictures. I don't know. You really can't appreciate how big these guys are. She has some serious comparisons. But those guys look almost small Space Marines. They could be a different, you know, section, a different team. I don't know. I just seen the renders at work on my break, and I was like, really? Seriously? I just bought the last one I needed, and now I have to track down 5 more. And that would be, what, we'd have 80 of these guys. Wow. Man, our armies are growing. So, hope you guys like this review. If you do, comment down below. Share some information about, you know, the figures, this whole weapon issue. If you have anything else you want to talk about with the community, that'd be great. Thanks for interacting, and I will see you guys in our next review.